Hi guys, you are on my channel and my name is Oksana. So I feel it's my duty to share with you my experience of dealing with scammers over the last months. So my first experience was through Facebook Messenger, the second was Instagram, and the third one is my newly opened Etsy store. I would like to support those claims with the screenshots from those conversations I had. So you will live through the experience. First of all, I'll briefly tell you about these experiences, and we'll start with my very first one. That was the period when I started actively posting my doll in different price groups and also Facebook Marketplace. So I'm not sure from where exactly this person found me, where exactly I was spotted by a scammer. Let me tell you just briefly, because later on I will summarize the points kind of conversation can happen that you need to be exceptionally vigilant and really cautious and careful dealing with such people. So one day I received a message through Facebook Messenger, and this person was aware of the name of the doll I gave and the price, and was really willing to buy and to buy at soonest. You know, it was kind of a rush. So the dialect was kind of clumsy because this person was acting like he or she doesn't speak English that well, so it was like, written in some ambiguous way so you can understand in whatever way you want. So it's like, yeah, I used to live in Australia, in the USA, so where she is, well, I don't know. So maybe in none of these countries. So that's not the point. She started like rushing, like she wants to pay, she insists paying. She doesn't mind to pay in any currency, right? So and there is no kind of physical address on her behalf, because a truck driver will pass by me tomorrow and will collect the doll. Right, so it sounds kind of miraculous that such a coincidence that physically she can send someone to collect the purchase tomorrow. Yeah, so that was also kind of highly unlikely. And here the focal point was on PayPal. Yeah, so this person was using PayPal as the main source of cheating. So, but not real PayPal. I see the disadvantage of PayPal is that it uses your email address. So once a person asks you about your PayPal, automatically the person gets your email. Yeah, and can start sending you some bogus letters, pretending to be some authority or somebody else, that some kind of payment was made. So the story here was that supposedly this person will pay me that amount of money as I put as a price of my doll, but unfortunately PayPal is somehow frozen, so I need to activate it, and in order to activate I need some particular sum of money be put on my account, like almost double of what this person's supposed to pay. So let's just take some rough numbers as examples. If for instance I say, yeah, so my doll costs $500 US dollars, so the message comes like this person send me $500, but unfortunately my account is frozen, and to unfreeze it this person needs to put $400 more, but with the agreement that I will send this $400 back to that generous buyer. Yeah, well, definitely It was really dodgy, so I didn't fall into that trap. Luckily, my husband was also next to me, and he like also reasoned me. So no matter how strong my desire was to believe into such let's say lucky, how lucky I am such a buyer, so I don't need to involve any post office sending, waiting, tracking. So it was sounding easy peasy, so just somebody tomorrow will collect it from me in person. Yeah, and this woman, she wants to pay money right now, and yeah, and she doesn't even mind to overpay to a stranger, almost like double, and then she will be asking me yeah, to pay the money back. So luckily I did have experience with PayPal. I had several purchases I made and people made for me, so it also like didn't feel right that something's not really going right. And this woman also was asking me like, okay, full name. So by knowing my PayPal and full name, uh, I have a letter sent like within a minute, because they need to, you know, put my name, dear Oksana, blah blah blah. So they have my email address and they can contact me by also using her name and the same numbers as we were discussing. So it was such a story. Well, it ended up that definitely I didn't agree on such kind of purchase from her side, and I said that yeah, I did receive an email, but it looks like a scam. And this person like stopped responding, and the only thing I could do, I just blocked her. So one more point, that she doesn't have Facebook account, and I do open her page on Instagram, but on Instagram our dialogue, our conversation does not exist. So I also cannot report and claim that she said 1, 2, 3. The good point is that I didn't lose anything. I didn't lose my product, my doll, and I didn't lose my money. So it was only like, you know, false hopes and my time. As I organized this sharing in chronological sequence, so that's why the second experience was on Instagram. One day I received a message. It was pretty much short and straight to the business. It was either a sharing or just a screenshot of a doll, and the question was price. Okay, so how much? How much? Um, I replied almost immediately. Yeah, so I just gave some very short description, right? And I said the price, and so the person didn't respond. Next day, again, I received a message on Instagram from this girl, and she asked me some questions like, can she have more pictures of the doll, and something else doll related. So it looked kind of right to me, because it's really logical. Once you have some especially, you know, high cost items, it's very normal for a potential buyer to ask you such questions of like about more pictures, like, or let's say how long you have been making Bly's dolls, so like, you know, to be sure in the quality. So I did respond to her, and in my turn, I also asked some questions like, you know, to know at least some basics. Where does this person come from? Because I need to also like let her know what kind of cost of the sending the parcel to that place is involved. So like very logical questions, you know. And again, there was like no response, and next day, like, you know, like once a day or maybe once per 2 days, almost the same time, she was dropping a message, you know, with no really giving the answer to my question or questions, but just like asking something else. You know, it wasn't like it was opposite to rushing, it was like pulling the time. She proposed cash on delivery. So she expects me to send a doll, right? And with no liability on her behalf, so with no like risk, financial loss, anything. With such kind of approach, I also will not know the address of a person, because, well, cash on delivery, I was even like reading the articles, how does it work, because I don't have such experience. So I do send it to the closest to her post office, and then she goes to collect, and there in person she pays the amount of money um, mentioned in some document, you know. So of course it involves some extra cost of the service. So like in this situation, I do risk the doll that it can be lost, you know, on the way there or back. It may be never collected. Maybe it can be also somehow damaged in the period of transportation. You know, so there is no guarantee that it's an honest person. I refused politely. I said that I don't like, I can propose even to pay the postage fee. Yeah, but still the payment must be done in the day of me sending the parcel. And then she just disappeared. She didn't react because it was never a dialogue. And also I will later on describe the features of such profiles, the behavior, and also some kind of patterns. How do they lead the conversation, how the dialogue is happening. And by very recent experience, since I've just opened my Etsy store, and even there I was not secured from scammers. So I received a message asking about my doll. Okay, sounding very interested. Okay, and then the point was that this person wants me to do like extra favor for some financial reward. So this person wants me to put in a package with a doll, some kind of I didn't even understand, some Google voucher something. And for my trouble, this person, this a fake buyer, proposes me $100 extra. Right. So definitely I didn't like definitely I refused. I didn't continue this conversation because there was nothing to talk about. I said that I only receive payments through Etsy store, and I don't do any kind of extra services. So this is the only way you can purchase the item you wish, and that's it. So definitely the person just disappeared, and there's no even way how to block or report. So later on I was reading some articles about Etsy scammers, and they do target the people with high cost products, and especially with just few sales. So yeah, so these are potential victims. So I decided to highlight a dozen of features of such scammers. So what to expect from them, what kind of dialogue can happen. And yeah, so if you feel like at least two or three features that I'm going to share with you right now, you feel that it's happening to you, so that case it's like very high percentage that you are scammed, and you are risking not just do not sell your item, but also lose your money. It can be both money and your item, and definitely you will lose your time, as these are time wasters. And later on, as a result, you may lose trust in anyone who contacts you, regardless what kind of intentions do they have. Maybe these are real people with real intentions, and they do want to buy your product, and they're ready to make it, you know, like right and transparent and real. So the very first feature, I think it's about the first impression, right? So if you see that the profile does not have a picture and it's locked, so it doesn't really mean automatically that it's a bogus buyer and somebody bad who wants to cheat on you. Yeah, some people, they just prefer to leave it that way. Yeah, but still, it doesn't make you trust into this person, into his or her profile. Okay, this is the first one. So the second is, I've noticed that they ask a question, in which condition is this item? You know, like I feel this question is irrelevant. It may be something else which is not relevant for your product. So if I'm a maker, right, so I don't write that I'm the first owner or it's a second-hand item. So it's a new item. What does it mean? In which condition is this item? Well, it can be some any other, you know, irrelevant questions that you feel they don't fit right to a description of your product and to the nature of your product at all. 3. I find it suspicious when the person does not ask relevant follow-up questions, like if it's something expensive, especially, right? So you do want to make sure that the seller is the real person or it really has this item. So I would expect that somebody may ask me for extra pictures for, let's say, maybe some other social media I have, maybe a video of the item, maybe some questions about, you know, the details of the doll, like did you make clothes or did you buy it, some kind of, you know, follow-up logical questions regarding your item. But if they don't ask you, you know, and they're just willing to pay, if you have just few pictures of the product, so it also kind of does make you feel right. The fourth one, and it's more common than the opposite one. So when they are hurrying up to close the deal, so they are playing on your emotions. They make you feel like they're ready to pay. They always include the number, that sum of money that you put for your item. So they talk numbers, right? And they are hurrying because they're going to buy it like right now or maybe tomorrow. So it's very short span of time. Or on the contrary, as I said, very unnaturally, they are pulling time, they're not developing a dialogue, they just like dropping you messages once a day, once per 2 days in the same time. Yeah, not really answering your questions. So yeah, so either it's like too fast or it lasts for too long, like very tedious. And number 5, notice none of them provide their physical address. So maximum that you can squeeze out of them is the country, and not always they even come up with the country as a very fast response. So they may ask you, and where are you? Or maybe they will then only double check the post, what kind of country I've mentioned there, and based on that they will just tell you the country. Or it can be in this way. It happened to me with that story of a truck driver. So she asked me in which city I am, and well, naturally I asked like in which city she is or her truck driver is. And it took her longer than usual because the conversation was like, developing very fast, like she was typing the responses very promptly. And here she like disappeared for a few minutes, and my husband, he was even joking, maybe she is googling the location and just looking for some nearby city. So, and it really happened that she said that she or her driver is in Newcastle. So it's kind of, yeah, neighbor city to Sydney. See, they do it in such a way that, yeah, I will pick it up, or I'll send somebody to pick up. Or it will be cash and delivery, so you just send it to some post office. They don't even bother to invent and lie about it. So let's move on. Number 6 is that they ignore your questions. They don't answer them at all or just partially answer. So Usually I do ask like, are you a advice collector or are you buying it as a gift? Just to try to understand, maybe I need some extra packing, extra care, maybe some postcards, so things like these, or is it your first buys? And they just ignore such questions. However, I understand that it's really exciting. It's something that you are willing to share and discuss. But they just don't answer your questions because they're the ones who lead the conversation. One more thing, it's third hour number 7, that I've noticed that they become extremely flexible. They agree on anything you say, like, okay, on any currency, you want it in Australian dollars, okay, US dollars, okay, Chinese yuan, fine. So they become like super flexible in whatever conditions you put or discuss. They just agree on everything. Number 8, these people pretend being so generous and they're willing to pay extra. Yeah, because this extra is supposed to be the money that they are planning you to lose. So so they don't mind to pay extra. They don't ask about any discounts. Even, let's say, if I'm making like a different conversion of currencies, and let's say it's like $503, and yeah, they're fine with $503. They don't even like ask, okay, so come on, let's make it round and let's make it 500. No, they're very fine. They don't mind overpaying. And also, they may ask you for some extra favor, yeah, to do something extra for them. And again, it involves their generosity, that for you to be bothered, they don't mind also to pay for that service. And they also, yeah, quite generous. So if you include in the box something else, so I'll pay you $100 more, just like that. Next, definitely these people, they're not willing to pay through the website. I mean, like if it's Etsy, so they're not aiming to pay through Etsy and make it easy and transparent. Definitely they will try to take your way and propose their own ways of payment. So there it will be already their conditions. Right, and I almost forgot to mention that these people, they are the ones who fish out from you as much information as they can, and they try to not sound suspicious, even by asking PayPal. Well, it's really natural and logical, right, if the payment will be through PayPal, but like this, they also automatically know my email address. And then also they ask my name or full name. Well, this is kind of strange because like I did have the deal through PayPal and nobody was asking me full name, because actually it's mentioned in your profile. So once you make a purchase, so you see the name of a person. It's not really also the information that you can hide, but it's a relevant question, what's your full name? So you see, they also can ask you more questions like, and where am I exactly located? Even if it's just something that I'm planning to send by post. So it shouldn't be like of a big difference which city exactly in Australia I am in, if they are not in that country or that place. And the last feature, well, this one is especially, they think especially powerful. So they pretend to be people who can afford. Like, okay, my truck driver, like she's some business lady, and that she can afford, and she has some kind of, management happening, or the one with this extra Google something. Yeah, well, I wanted to do it myself, but I need to go to US Navy. Yeah, so they're like big people, rich people, and they just like, throw it to you between the lines that, yeah, so actually they can afford, and I should trust them in their financial capabilities. So I hope that this video was enlightening and you will never experience scammers, and if you do, you will react immediately and wisely. And don't be afraid, to be honest, or don't be afraid to double check who you are dealing with. And pre or blocking the person if it's possible. It's a good idea to report such a scammer, so our community will be more safe. So we all understand that if it really goes the way the scammer wants, so you may lose not just money and the product and time, but also you may lose the trust into people and into your future sales. So you will start doubting everything, and maybe it will even discourage you to keep making whatever you're making. So don't go for that extreme, right? So just be safe, be wise, and don't lose trust in people. That's all from me. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.